Hi guys, welcome to my Flosstube. It is Tuesday, November the 14th, and yeah, we are 2 weeks off Flossmas. I've got lots of plans in place for Flossmas, but I'm not going to talk about it too much today because I'm going to try and keep this quite short because I'm at work in 2 hours. Yeah, I've got plans in place. The only thing I'm going to say about my Flossmas this year is there will be 12 giveaways, but I'm going to do the Google form this year. I know I said it last year and never got around to it, but I'm going to work it out this year because this year I actually just want to get things in the post. So probably it's not going to be today, but next Flosstube, and then there'll be another one probably before we roll into December. I'll work it out before next week's video and put the link up. So if you want to enter any of my giveaways in Flossmas, I will be needing you to fill out a Google form, please. I'm going to figure out. I know loads of people do them, so it can't be too difficult. Anyway, I'm just going to jump in with my stitching. So I wanted to finish off the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow block before I put it away, and I have done. So last time I showed it you, it was here, and there was a little bit left to go on it, and I did get it done. I changed up a colour, and that's where it is, and I'm going to be putting it away now. So what I did was finished off the back stitch there, finished off the newt or the frog going in there. Did her. I couldn't find this colour, so I pulled and over dyed. Her hair was a different colour anyway, so they're clearly two different witches. Did the bat. I don't think I'd even done much of the, had I done some pumpkin? I can't remember. Anyway, I did this bat thing. He was mostly over dyed flosses, but the ones that I'd charted in. And then the moon here was meant to be the yellow, 742 I think, but I decided I wanted a lighter moon. So it's actually called crushed pineapple, I think. Anyway, it's really lovely, slightly variegated, and it's done. And before I put it away, you can see I've just done the markers for the blocks. For all the rest of the blocks now have got a marker corner, so I can now jump to any one of these blocks because I've got a start. I've got a little start for the block, so even if I decide I want to do this one up here next year, I can work from this corner and it will be right. So I thought I'd do that before I put it away. So I'm very happy with my progress. That's big. This is the 3rd year I've been stitching it, and there's technically 2 blocks complete, but that middle block's a double block, so that was 2 years work there. Considering I only pull him out for Halloween, we'll see how much I get done next year. So that's Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow being put away for now. Very pleased I reached my objective on that one for the month, for the year. And then, as I said last week, I picked up my Pilgrim. This is in my work bag now, and I'm trying to stitch about 250 stitches a day on this. It looked like this. I just held it up long enough to take a nice big picture of it last week because I didn't know where I was going to put the frame to start my stitching. It is now at 83%, 83.04, 83%, and I have got 9,600 stitches left to stitch, so I'm under 10,000 stitches to go. So if we spread that over December, January, I probably won't stitch on it much in December, I'm going to be honest. It's going to be January, February and the rest of November. If I do 250 stitches a day, I'll easily get him finished. So I've shown you what it looked like last week. This week it looks like this here. So obviously I joined up to this page here, and I've finished this bit down here. I've stitched this lovely leaping hair, a little bit of the stuff underneath it, and at the moment I'm on the back of the frog. You can see there's the froggy's eye, and I'm coming down the back of the, he's either a big toad or a big frog. So I'm stitching him in at the moment. So 200, 250 stitches a day gets me a little over 1,000 stitches a week. I've got less, that's 10 weeks work, 9.5 weeks work. We'll see how I do. It will be finished before leap day, which was the original objective. So, today's word is objective. Carrying on in my work bag, so I can stitch on it a little bit in the mornings. When I'm on my break, I get about 20 minutes. I get half an hour break, so I have a cup of coffee, do a bit on my phone, you know, catch up with bits and bobs, and then I have about 20 minutes to stitch. So 50, 60, 70 stitches goes in then, depending on how awake I am. And then if it's an early shift, I go back to my parents' house and wait for my kids to finish school and then go home with them. I'll drive them home. So I get a bit of time then to stitch as well. So I'll easily get that sort of stitches into it. So that's really good. I did do a little tiny bit on the key, not very much at all. So I've decided that I'm going to colour complete the 823, of which I've obviously got a wonderful professional handful here. I've got skeins and skeins of this, so I've just found one and I'm just keeping it with it. So I don't even know which way's up. That way's up. So I've kind of, wherever I was last time, I filled in the 823 here. I'm put with here. And so I'm just going to keep on moving my Q-snap around now and finishing an area, moving it, colour completing an area, and I will go all over. Oops. Mostly they're on the joins of the brickwork, which I've already finished the black, so it's going to like emphasise, colour change. It's going to emphasise the gaps between the bricks, because obviously the brickwork is greys, and there's not a lot of 823s in that grey because it's blue. Anyway, so I don't know how much more of this I'm going to do this year. As I say, I'm now gearing towards what I'm going to be doing in December. So I've got a lot of stuff to sort out between now and then. And then Treasure Hunt Bookshelf, Jackie Feeney, I still haven't heard from you. Please message me. I've got a needleminder for you. Don't know whether if you missed my last Flosstube or haven't caught up yet or whatever, or if you missed that one and watched this one, go back and I pulled your comment and I'm looking for the man in armour. So I was here last week and I picked up here and came down in this, I think I've done this bit, and then I found a big blue firework, which was rather lovely. So I've done some of the stitching in the big blue firework, heading down, and then I looked at the picture and I started heading that way, because here, outlined, here is the man in armour. I found him quite quickly. He was quite an easy find. You can see there he is. I haven't stitched much of him yet, but I'm going to this week. So there's like a turret here, and I think possibly Rapunzel sitting on top. So I think it can only be a Rapunzel, can't it? She's at the top of a tower. So I'm going to stitch her as well. So I'm going to stitch her in her entirety there, and she'll be like the fox. She'll be pixely, and then when you look at it further back, you'll be like, oh my gosh, there's a girl sitting up there. So I'm going to stitch her. I'm going to try and finish down this tower. It's got some leaves and greenery on it. This here's green, and there's some greens here, and there is my knight in armour. So I will be stitching him as well, but I've just brought myself down with black and 939 just to get some. I found his head, and then I stitched around his shoulder, and I thought, right, I'm going to do some outline colours so that he really stands out when I show you what I've done. So I've done quite a few stitches on that because I need to, and I am currently at, let me find it. I'm at 18.37, so I'm not quite halfway for the month, but I'm getting on. I'm getting on. So I think I can stitch the whole man in armour the whole of the turret and the whole of Rapunzel, and we'll see where we are for our stitch count. We should be fairly close by then. And then there's huge swathes of dark background colour, line 39s and things like that, that I can do big bulk filling ins. What is that? Oh, it's 310. Yeah, there's a lot of, I can do my usual trick and do big chunks. There you go. Look, you can see clearly he's mostly surrounded by black. I might put the 310 in before I stitch him. So there we go. So I can do a big chunk of 310 that will really up my stitches to keep me on track for the month. I'm going to try quite hard to get my stitches in December. As I say, I've got lots of things planned in December, so he's going to be a stretch. I think I'm going to have to stitch on it every day. I'm going to have to do my December, my Flossmas stitching, and then 270 stitches on Treasure Hunt Bookshelf just to keep myself right. Otherwise, I'm going to get to the end of the month. It's going to be Christmas. I'm not going to have my stitches in, and I'm going to have to spend 2 days stitching solidly on it. Good news is I have some time off in December. And even better news is it coincided with the week Maddie wants collecting. So we're going to take a couple of days and go for a dondra back, collect Maddie, bring her home. I don't think I can stitch in the car, which is going to be frustrating. I'm going to have to take some knitting or something because I get motion sick immediately if I look at anything with any writing on it. So I think a pattern is probably going to finish me off. Remember, I got sick on the train. They're trying to do, I still can't pick up that Everything is Better with a Little Magic that I really want to stitch, my other Halloween piece, but every time I look at it I feel a bit queasy, like you do, you know, when you've had morning sickness and something triggers you. It's just the same. I'll have to go for that to get that stitched. I think I'm going to have to just start somewhere else on it and go back to that M that was just like the pattern was doing this and made me ill. Anyway, so that's all my stitching. This week I'm just going to try and get my stitches in Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. I'm going to carry on stitching on my Pilgrim, and I'm going to see, this week's job is to start my Flossmas giveaway items, which I've got all planned now, and I've basically got everything I need to do them. I've got 2 days off together next week. That's going to be my making day. So I'm going to make the things, hopefully completely get it done. And in between now and then, I've also got a fair amount of things going live on my Etsy shop. I don't always plug my Etsy shop, but I sell needle minders. My middle daughter makes scissor fobs, so the scissor fobs that are going up listing made by my daughter. She really needs driving lessons, so it's all going to help. And yeah, so there's going to be some, so anyone who's already favorited my shop will get a notification that there's new items on. It should be about, I'm hoping there'll be about 100 items going up. Its majority of it is going to be needle minders. There are some beautiful stamps going up, and a whole load of my Dragon Eyes. These ones are like, they're not festive as such, but they're all glittery. They're really lovely. And a whole pile of my daughter's scissor fobs, which are really pretty. They're all beads. She does, some of them, there's actually some beadwork. She actually makes little animals out of, the lizards and things, out of beads, you know, with wire. So there's some of those going up as well. They are fairly unique because she doesn't make very many of them. So I will actually, because I don't usually link anything in my description, I will actually link my own Etsy shop in the description. Otherwise, I'm just going to put it on here on the screen. If you just search for that, you'll find me. That's all the plug I'm giving. The last time I did an Etsy update video, I got like 12 views. Nobody was interested in that at all. So anyway, yep, and I'll talk more about my Flossmas probably next week when I've firmed up my plans. But basically, I'm going to do 12 new starts and work on 12 neglected whips on the over the 24 days. So on neglected whip day, I will give a prize away, and on new start day, it's like a prize for me. But it's going to be like an advent calendar for me as such, but I'll show you it. I just said I wasn't going to talk about it, and now I'm talking about it. Right guys, I'm going to have to get this video processed and shoot to work pretty soon. I've got a late today, and I'm off tomorrow. My mum's birthday tomorrow, and then 3 earlies. Lovely. I quite like the earlies though, although I do have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm visibly aging, but the job's great. Job I can manage. I think it's one of those jobs where you don't have to think too much, and I think I'll just probably do it indefinitely, which is what I've been needing, isn't it? Something that doesn't completely overtake my life. So yeah, I'm going to get on and do some stuff, and I will see you next week. I'm off Thursday, Friday next week, so hopefully might see you Thursday. We'll see. Anyway guys, have a good week, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.